What is up, YouTube? What is up? 808 Tim here, and we are back with Dispatch. In this one, we are going to be looking at the extras in this game. We played through the story. It was an absolutely amazing game, and I'm really hoping that they do a season 2. But in this one, we're going to be looking at the extras that came with the deluxe edition. The first we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at the art of Dispatch. There are 4 chapters as far as the art goes. So we'll look at chapter 1 here. And like I said, this game is absolutely just incredible, amazing art, amazing cast. So I'm going to turn this mic off and we're just going to be browsing through each chapter with these pages. But even just look at that. Look at that, dude. The Art of Dispatch, Chapter 1. It would be cool for us to say that the Art of Dispatch was some sort of singular vision we were all faithfully marching towards, but everyone on this project knows that's bullshit. The truth is, Dispatch's aesthetic was discovered by a team who woke up every day and relentlessly solved problems. There were days when we'd struggle to make a location feel more specific or give a character the right vibe. There were days when we'd fight through the boredom of designing napkins. There were days when we'd question our life choices after debating the amount of pubic hair a monster should have. At times it could feel like sailing through murk, but it's really where the magic happened and how we discovered our North Star as a team. This book is the diary of that discovery we found together. Derek Stratton, art director. I like that, man. This is in-game screenshot from episode 1. Okay. We talked a lot about a Western anime style for Dispatch, combining grounded, realistic character performances with elements of anime visuals. This shot was a perfect opportunity to take 2 of our main characters, who were getting to know each other during a drunken, naturalistic conversation in a bar, and pluck them out into the sky, revealing the skyline of downtown Los Angeles in a style reminiscent of Neo Tokyo from Akira. Yeah, I remember that scene. This was a fire scene. Robert Robertson III. Our player character, Robert, is an everyman. You know, just a guy. Some might even call him a loser after his fall from grace. Always feeling like he's one step behind. He's a bit of a disheveled schlub. Washed up dad bod and all. He's broken, he's beaten, and he's just trying to do his best. Like that. Okay. The chunk missing from Robert's ear feels iconic now, but we explored a lot of more prominent and gnarly scar replacements earlier on. Ultimately, We felt these scars were a bit harsh and too blunt in conveying his troubled past. Considering the origins of his scar got scoped out of the game, we're glad we didn't go with something so in your face. So they were going to go with that. Damn. They were going to go with that. I am really glad they just did the simple ear. Frickin' Mecha Man. Robert's family heirloom. The Mecha Man suit. Robert dreams of carrying on its legacy, but the mech suit is a scientific and mechanical marvel that goes beyond his capabilities to rebuild after it is destroyed. Maybe one day. This is badass. Robert in Cockpit sketch by Liz Chi. I like that. That's sick. I like this. That's another cockpit. Early cockpit sketches by Joe Zhao and Tana M. Nice. And honestly, like I'll never forget the first time in the game where the cockpit loads up. Man, that is epic. Epic, dude. All the lights flickering on and the switches. Then you got this down here. Oops. These are mech exploration. Maybe different. Well, yeah. Oh yeah, puppy wuppy. Beef. The one. The only. The rotund. There is not much more to know about Beef. He's a straight shooter. Lets it all hang out. He's Robert's BFF and the BFF of anyone who gives him belly rubs. May we all live a life of beauty and simplicity like our best boy Beef. And listen, guys, Beef ended up being one of my favorite characters. Look at you, bud. Absolutely amazing, dude. Absolutely amazing. I think that's my favorite one right there.
Hi, baby.
Hell yeah, dude. I wonder if they were gonna do different dogs. Like if they were gonna do different dogs and then they decided, oh, you know, we don't want to do that. We're gonna stick with Beef. Robert's apartment. Robert's humble apartment is designed to look how he's feeling like look blah, 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 blah. Robert's humble apartment is designed to look how he's feeling. Like shit. Robert has sacrificed a lot to maintain the life of Mecha Man, and his Bear Studio shows that all of his attention is focused on supporting the mech. Part bachelor pad, part mech lab. They may be lacking in charm, warmth, and basic furnishings, but it's where Robert can focus on what matters most. Beef. Nice. Okay. That's Liz Chi right there. And then on the right we got Derek Stratton. Okay. Chase, Trackstar. Chase is one of our students, or sorry, Chase is one of our studio's favorite characters to write and animate. He's blunt, expressive, cantankerous, and like us all, has a weak spot for beef. A bit of a crank, but you would be too if your midlife crisis hit as hard as Chase's early onset osteoporosis. And look at this dude. Looking at beef. I love it. Okay. We knew early on that Chase's powers had the unfortunate side effect of rapidly aging him, but we took care to explore how far that aging would have progressed. How much did Trackstar use his power? Moving at light speed is kind of a juicy ability. Anyone would use and abuse happily, so we came to the conclusion that he'd be great, wrinkled and wobbly. So this is their first meeting right here. He's all confused behind him, like what's going on. And then he figures it out. Wait, so there he was, right there. That's how he looked. And all of a sudden, and you can see yellow, homage to Flash, jumper, glasses. Nice. I think these were all. This was this could have been him too. So, very cool. Blonde Blazer. Blonde Blazer represents the golden age of supers. She's honorably courageous with a generous spirit and strong dose of corporate-approved dorkiness. An old soul looking to keep the business of heroism feeling fresh and personal. Visually, we continually pushed her super persona further and further towards something that felt classic. Clean lines, bold colors, obvious strength, and a dash of mystery and flair. There we go. Slightly more classic suit. Nice. What's that say? White marks help her feet help keep her feet readable. And they ultimately ended up with that last one. Nice. Get, oh shoot, it's Invisa, bitch, gal. Invisigal. When we began to build out Invisigal, the piece on the far left was the first concept drawn. Okay. When we went on a long journey of tweaking Vizzy's character, her clothes, her tats, piercings, her powers, her attitude, only to realize we still like the original the best. Classic game development. So, and I literally love the original. Super, super dope. But she was gonna be like that. Okay. There we go. Nice. The setting, SDN office. The opposite of it, the offices of SDN are inspired by the clean mid-century lines of those nondescript office buildings your parents used to work in. We embraced funky aesthetics, nostalgic 90s tech, and a more muted color palette with the intention to create something timeless, somehow both modern and retro. Nice. And it looks great. That is part of the game. You know, you're a superhero or what, and you're managing supervillains, but or you're an ex-superhero managing supervillains trying to keep them on the right track, but you work in a call center and you handle calls. It's pretty cool. Blazer's office. So these are older renderings. Secondhand furniture. Sophisticated, warm vibe. Yeah, I like that a lot. This is the conference room. Functional, well worn, with mid-century touches. Not a private changing room. Oh. Bathroom. Nauseating lighting. Could be cleaner. Possible venue for bro fists. Royd's urinal not pictured. And there's the office layout. These floor plans were our go-to references for the SDN office's structural logic. Some of the areas pictured are never even seen during the game. Seriously, what company occupies the space next door, and is it weird sharing an elevator with a bunch of supers? Nevertheless, it was important to understand the big picture, so as we designed the action of the office scenes, we could maintain a flow of the interiors and remain consistent with the confines of the established exterior. Damn, that's impressive. I mean, really, that's awesome. It's easy for an office environment to feel soulless, and we knew that because Blonde Blazer was in charge of SDN's Torrance branch. Its aesthetics would reflect back on the kind of person she is. With that in mind, Blazer's Blazer's office is the heart of the building where she keeps the overhead lights off and lets warm natural light flood the room. This shot was used to dial in the vibe with our three managers running their post-mortem. Weirdly, this shot is for a dialogue choice and not the main path, so only a third of players see this. We were still learning, and I saw this. I remember that one. That's crazy, bro. Episode 1 color key. Episode 2 color key. There we go. That's chapter 1. Chapter 2. Game development is often challenging. It's full of compromises and sacrifices at every step of the way. But every time I see this scene, it brings a smile to my face. I'll always remember it as one of those rare moments in time where we were all in perfect sync and everything seemed to fall in place. From script to voice acting, from storyboards to animation, from art to lighting, and finally through sound and music production. Every person that touched this scene helped make it better and better along the way. It's not the most dramatic scene in the game, or the funniest, or the flashiest, but this simple, quiet conversation on the swing set at night is the thing I'm most proud of. And Dennis, we appreciate you. Dennis Lenart, Episode 3 Director. Shout out to you, man. The Phoenix Program. You've now had the chance to get to know the heroes of the Z Team. You've also had to make some tough calls to reshape the team. The fates of Sonar, Coop, Waterboy, Phanama Man were in your hands. Let's take a closer look how they got here. Yeah, she's crazy. Sonar. What makes a man? And what makes a Batman? We spent a long time trying to figure out just that. While walking the fine line between fanged aerial mammal and crypto-obsessed tech bro, we landed on our bud Sonar. He started off as a simple joke. What would a literal Batman look like? He quickly became one of our favorite characters. A lot of time was spent trying to make sure his bat head didn't feel like a sports mascot costume, and even more time debating how much hair he had underneath his clothes. Coop. Etymology to cut in French. Sadly ironic if you did snip her off the Z Team roster, which you'll just have to watch our playthrough. One of the few aerial heroes and the Phoenix program's only masked hero, Coupe, and I think it's Coupe, so if I'm saying Coupe and it's wrong, but I think it is Coupe. Coupe is capable, elegant, and mysterious. The concept for her character came very early, but nailing down her final look took until almost the end of pre-production. Damn. Oh, I like that one. Peace signs. Yeah. That's cool. Waterboy, my frickin' brother. Sweet, timid, hard-working Waterboy awakens the dreamer in us all. What he lacks in skills, he makes up for in moisture, and sometimes that actually comes in handy. Whether you choose him to fight on the front lines or let him mop the bathroom, Waterboy will give it 110%. I love this. All the different styles of Waterboy. Office style. Call her out for the office. Z-Team style. Oh, that's the other thing. Yeah, look at his powers, bro. Interesting. Phenomenon. Phenomenon was SDN's best and not so brightest. But after being blindsided by a breakup, he left purposeless, listless, blazerless. If he was welcomed into the Phoenix program, however, he may have found a new outlet to focus his incredibly intense yearnings and desires. Phenomenal. Ha ha ha, Brother Royd. The best, bruh. Originally conceived as a deployable character that was far more involved with the Z Team's antics in the field, Royd was initially designed to have a transformative power that increased his size and strength. The idea of his close ties with the Phoenix program was eventually scoped out of the game, so his powers were removed, aside from the massive strength. In lieu of becoming Robert's trusty, brainy, and friendly robotics man stationed in his very own secret lab in the basement of SDN, which is very cool. Very, very cool. Most of Torrance SDN offices sport some pretty archaic tech, but Royd's lab is an oasis for gear nuts. Behind multiple layers of security, he's hoarding a room full of high-end gadgets and a stockpile of confiscated weaponry from captured villains. The setting, props, and branding. A world with superheroes and villains is a world that allows for a lot of fantastical elements to exist. But the most of the props we encounter as a dispatcher in an office are pretty mundane. Regardless, they are all rendered with the same level of care and attention to detail. So they maintain the same aesthetic, whether it be mystical, power-infused sword, or a dog poop bag. Nice. It took several revisions of the dispatching software and main gameplay screens to land on what you see in the game. The goal was to evoke the retro vibes of cathode ray tube monitors, to blur time period aesthetics, and subtly suggest that SDN may not be quite as well funded as they'd hope. But for the sake of the players, your experience, the UI had to be exceptionally user friendly to reduce the learning curve. Okay, I gotta get a drink real quick. Thanks for your patience. I'm gonna just leave these pages up and not read everything right here. So I'm gonna leave it up for a couple more seconds. You can pause. Damn, they had all those different types of orbs and viruses. It's crazy to know that they had that many options. And that's what they ended up with. And they could have went with all those. Wow. Or no, that's the orb, and then the virus is interesting. The opening sequence of Robert getting ready for work at the top of episode 4 wasn't in the script, but was added in the experience during development to underline how not super Robert is feeling at this point in the story. I wanted to have one shot in the sequence that could stand on its own, where even in just one frame, you wouldn't understand what he was going through. And this is the result. Okay, that's chapter 2. Let's check chapter 3. Ever since the storyboard phase, this shot has been one of my favorites because of Robert's downfall at the beginning of the series. It's rare that we get to see him in his prime. Being able to show him in his full glory as Mecha Man was an opportunity we couldn't take for granted. The strength of his pose, the way he's framed so well by the gaping hole he just created. Cool and composed. Fighting the good fight, even as the world burns around him. That's Mecha Man. That's Roberts down to his core. He may not have superpowers, but he's got guts and grit. And that's ultimately why we love him as our protagonist. Chris Revert. Z-Team continued. Flambe. Certified hottie. Controls the fire and the flame. But his temper, he's working on it. Flambe needed to be loud, both in personality and in visual design. Fun fact, his name was originally Blonde Blazer. What? Due to his matchstick head. When his design changed, we transferred the name to someone more fitting. Okay. Prism. We had the early idea of a light laser powered hero, but we weren't quite sure the best way to represent her visually. We went through the scientific manipulation of particles phase. Then, okay, that's this one. Then we went the supernatural conjuring of lightning phase. Oh shit. And then finally landed on Pop Diva, putting a lethal laser show with holographic backup dancers. Which is actually fire, and glad they did that. Fire. Gollum. Shout out Young Gravy. When a character is a sentient creature made of dirt and clay, it allows for a lot of design possibilities. In our opinion, too many. Gollum was a character we spent a long time literally iterating on to get just right. Think he's just some glob guy? Think again. Check these receipts. I like that one a lot. Spits out giant coins, can only say ribbit. Okay. Wings can shield around body. Damn! Dude, they were going all out. That's insane. Malevola. Mistress of hell in our hearts. The demon lady of our dreams. You may think heals are impractical for running or fighting, but as Malevola would say, only if you're a little bitch. Facts. While Malevola's strong build was always part of our vision for her, the weapons she wielded and her personal aesthetic evolved quite a bit throughout development. We tried We tried leaning fantasy, gothic, aquatic, alien, but surprisingly, the version we loved the best was more supermodel glam, with the vibe that may remind you of a certain Pepsi commercial from the early 90s. I will say though, I do like this one, the second one on the bottom row, and kind of the first one. Those are fins, so probably those first two, maybe even that last one there. So one, two, and four on the bottom row. And of course, I like the one that she actually became. Punch Up came from a carnival strongman concept, but he got progressively shorter throughout our design exploration process. No nuts are safe. Our Estian branch is set in a real city in southern Cali, Torrance. So a lot of streets and buildings, maps, and other geographical elements are based on actual locations. I did not know that. That's fire. Pulling and synthesizing real world references not only provides endless inspiration from a design perspective, but it also hopefully brings a feeling of authenticity to the areas you see within the game world. The Villain Bar. Nice. Sardine. Seedy dive bar loosely inspired by a great real dive bar in Torrance, the Sardine. We wanted it to contrast the Crypto Knight Hero bar from episode 1, which was cleaner and warmer with soft light and wood tones. Here, we've got concrete, tacky murals, supers costumes that have been stabbed onto the wall like trophies, and bathrooms tagged up the wazoo. Somehow, it gets even shittier post brawl. Okay. In episode 5, we get a few brief glimpses of a previous battle between Robert in his prime Mecha years and Flambe. The battle's fiery, literally and figuratively, and the setting had to reflect the raw carnage inflicted by this showdown. It also had to directly contrast the current day gym setting we bounced between flashbacks. If the gym is cold, infernal tension. If the gym is cold, internal tension, the plaza featured here is dramatic external violence, warmth, high contrast, intense shadows. We took visual inspiration from Westside Pavilion Mall, a nice local homage to the game's setting that also gave us that visual contrast we needed for cross-cutting. Okay. Steel Mill. Back in episode 1, Robert faced off against his nemesis, Shroud, in a battle that took place in an abandoned steel mill. The vibe and some of the layout was based on the Kaiser steel mill, which was used in killer action films like Terminator 2 and Mission Impossible 3. So there was a lot of helpful cinematic reference to pull from. We also liked the idea of paying homage to an iconic real world filming location, even though we were building it from the ground up in 3D. That's badass. These are all the concepts for the villains that weren't the Z team. Other villains. Okay. This whole sequence was truly a labor of love for me. It's rare that we get to exercise such purely visual storytelling. So when we got the chance here, I knew I wanted to go all out and make something special. I wanted the player to feel like we were actually at the party, not just snippets like a more traditional montage. It was a blast deciding on the details from the lamps each Z-teamer brought to each one's dance moves. What starts as a ruse to trace the whereabouts of the astral pulse turns into an all-out love fest, and Robert's dark, empty apartment is suddenly filled with light and the people he cares about. For me, it's the emotional highlight of the episode, if not the series. I never get sick of watching our cast share one pure moment of elation. Chris Robert. Chris Robert, yeah. Chapter 4. The amount of design exploration we did for Shroud could fill its own art book. His look, Mac, and powers all required nuance and specificity. Whatever. To properly represent his backstory and convey his ultimate motive. As you can see, we traveled down a few paths before we narrowed it down to what's on screen. So it's like his helmet allows him to calculate probabilities and increase his odds of winning to unbeatable proportions, almost like he can see into the future. Basically, it brought us to his final, you know, functional attire with an iconic creepy headpiece paired with a subdermal neural network, both of which are ominously glow with immense power, immense processing power. So, yeah, fire. What the fuck? When Shroud's mask's off, he's just Eli. Turns out Eli's also a dick. He worked closely with Robert's dad during Mecha Man's golden years, but was unable to bind to the vision of heroism being a worthwhile pursuit. This only shows a small handful of the many revs of exploration we did to find Shrouds behind the masked persona. Wow, that was sick, dude. Super sick. And now, as you can see, we have comic books, people. The deluxe came with 4 comic books. Now, let's check. Where are we at now? I say we do it. We are now, as of right now, I am going to put a timestamp in the video, and we are going to start reading the comics now. So we're going to start with number 1, issue number 1 of the deluxe edition Dispatch comics, Splash and the Last Bender. Yo, dude, this is sick. Okay, so he's taking care of his grandma, taking care of the cat, washing the cat, and it freaking hates that. Yeah, taking care of his grandma. Cat notices. Okay. And he says bye to grandma. Oh, he's helping the duckies. Nice. Ducks are flying away. Yo. Okay. He's tripping. Now we got the car coming at him. Bitch, you hit my car. Is that flambe? Whore. Wait. Oh, no, no, no. No, I'm pretty sure that's flambe. Don't tell no one. Okay. Wait a second. What is this? Okay. Checklist. Wait a second. No, hold up. I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh, okay. Splash and the Last Bender. This is a double. Now this is a double first issue. So now we're on to the Last Bender. Sonar and Malevola's Last Bender. Hits tails and tentacles. Oh shoot, it's going down, bro. Okay. It's yo, they going crazy, bro. Boners and credit cards are a bad mix, mate. She's okaying it. Okay. Yeah, Sonar's about to go get that nonsense. Malevolent takes a sip. Wait a second. Is he going? What the hell? Keg stand? Yo, these are epic. These are epic freaking comics, bro. That's like fizzy lifting drink from Willy Wonka right there. They faded than a hoe, bro. Is this the next morning? Yeah, they're really hungover. I think they got like little bits of puke on them too. Oh my god, is it orientation? Oh my god. That's right before their first day. Damn, son. Gotta give credit to them. All bless all the creators. Amazing. So we read Splash and The Last Airbender. The next up, Shell Shock and Pass Du Deuce. Issue number 2, double. We have got the first one, Pass de Deuce. Black and white, interesting. Her success rate as an assassin is 68 and 0. Jesus. Oh, so they were just hooking up? Okay. Okay, they're going for sushi. Oh, hold the hell up. There was an episode where they were taking her to the place where the master dreams of sushi, so you know that reference. We could be getting a first hand look at the date. Looks like sea urchin. That's sake. Okay. Yeah, that's sea urchin. When you crack it open, there's that goo in the middle. It supposedly tastes really good. Epic. Yeah, bud, it happened. Go back one. Yeah, bud, it happened. That's crazy. Okay, now we'll do Get Up, issue number 3. To me, that's really one. That's really 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really 6 comics, to be honest. Now we're doing Get Up. San Pedro, California, 1999. Okay, that right there. That's the sickest opening art yet. Holy shit, that's fire. This one has some of the best art yet. I actually love this art. This is amazing, colorful, incredible art. All of them are absolutely amazing, but this is by far my favorite art style. Incredible. His fucking eyes hanging out. Some UFC shit. One. I was gonna say, yeah, that was Chase, and he was pissed, trying to stop me. Yo, what the fuck? Exactly. Is Robbie deadass dying, bro? Oh, hell no. Damn, son. Shout out to the creator profile on this one. Certainly, this one is by far my favorite art style. My God. There we go. Oops. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. We got to take a look at the art book. I read along with that. I wasn't really going to read the comics. I like to just kind of sit there and read them, and I hope the way that I zoomed in helped and didn't make it like tedious and messed up. But yeah, we got 6 comics that we got to read as well. We got to see the art for the whole game and the stories behind a lot of the awesome stuff in this game. Um, you know, I would say play through the game and then come watch this. That's why it's going to be the last video in this series, and I'll put in the title that there are some spoilers, um, because there are. But yeah, we got to read 6 comics. I think it'd be really cool if these were. I've just started collecting comics in real life, so I think it'd be fire if these were real physicals, because I'd cop them in a heartbeat. Especially Death of Mega Man, Mecha Man. Like, look at that, amazing. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed it. This will be the last episode for Dispatch for now. Um, it's there's still time to go vote for them. Uh, go vote. They deserve it, man. And I hope this helps you in your decision making process. But yeah, man, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I'm about to drop this on the channel right now. Happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, man, I will talk to y'all soon. If you like this, hit that like button, share with a friend. Go play through Dispatch. Um, I also potentially might. I don't think I'll play through Dispatch again. It's complicated, man. I'm gonna think about it. I might do only bad decisions and crazy decisions, and that'll be the premise of the playthrough again. But I don't know. But either way, this was fire. I'll see y'all in the next video. Cheers, and until then, 808 Tim out.